The Father has been speaking to me heavily this morning. Okay, so as I was washing my face this morning and brushing my teeth, I just randomly start singing Maybe I Deserve. And not even just the melody, you guys. Like I just start singing like Maybe I Deserve. And then I'm like, God, that gotta be you speaking. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? So he was giving me the song Maybe I Deserve by Tank. Okay. So and then as I'm putting this word together, I get a notification sent to my phone by TikTok. Now, the notification read, I didn't mean to cause such distress, and I truly apologize for my actions. Okay, guys, so that wasn't any coincidence. That goes along with the confessions and the acknowledgement from the kingdom spouses. Okay, now, as I read these words from the lyrical, the Lord had me watch the video to this message too. So I'm going to be telling you what the people in the video were doing when he was singing these particular lyrics at the particular points throughout the song. Okay. So you guys can get the visual behind the heartfelt messages and confessions behind the words. Okay. So to start off with, it says, ooh, hey, hey, well, well, well. Okay. It says, do you mind if I tell the truth? For a second, y'all. Tell the truth, okay? Hey, hey, no, 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 maybe I deserve, okay? Now, when this part of the lyrical was playing out in the video, it was Tank and what was his girlfriend in the video sitting on the couch together, okay? This represents you and your spouse sitting on the couch together. So they're saying, can I tell you the truth for a second? Can I speak from the heart, okay? Now, on this part, it says, maybe I deserve to wonder who's calling so dang late for you to say I'm tripping. It's just a homie from upstate. Don't he know it's 1 o'clock in the morning? You say it's cool, baby. It's cool. Okay, now on this part of the song, Tank and his girlfriend were no longer sitting on the couch together. It was just her along on the couch. Okay. So this represents you guys. Okay. While he was singing this part. And on the part he's acknowledging. Now, some of you guys may have like got into like slight disagreements. Maybe when you were around your spouse at some point, they were always on the phone, or they would get these random text messages or phone call, and they would try to play it off, and they were repeatedly gaslighting you guys. Okay, you might ask them about it, like, who's that? They might even lie and say, oh, it's my mom, it's my son, or it's my daughter. Or they might just gaslight you and say you tripping. I don't even know why you asking. It's no big deal, whatever it is. But he's acknowledging, he's like, maybe I deserve to wonder who's calling so late. Maybe I deserve for you to tell me I'm tripping. So they like everything I had done to you in that moment, and in the way I was gaslighting you, maybe I now deserve to feel the way that I'm feeling. Because a lot of them are sitting up here, they're wondering these things, guys. There's like, who's calling her phone? Who is she spending time with? Who's on her line? Now the other shoe has dropped, guys. It's the shoe is on the other foot, and now they're wondering like, what's going on? So it says, maybe I deserve for you to say he's coming into town later on this evening, and he was just wondering if you and him can hang out. Oh, 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 I don't like it, but I know I gotta trust you. It ain't cool because I know it's true. Okay. So in this scene, him and the girlfriend was on the floor back to back in their underwear. Okay. And being in their underwear signifies an exposure. Okay. So God is exposing your heart to them, and not only your heart to them, but their heart to themselves, right? Because God is like, you know, dang well, if the shoe was on the other foot and you were wondering what she was doing or what he was doing or who's on their line, who they're spending time with, that a lot of stuff that people do to other people, guys, they can't take it if the shoe was on the other foot. Okay. If someone was making them feel the exact same way they making you feel, they would flip out, they would be hurt, they would nip it in the bud. But they're playing with your feelings and emotions. Okay. So like I said, they're sitting on the floor, they're exposed. A lot of these people, want their cake and eat it too. A lot of these spouses want their cake and eat it too, right? So they might either be calling you guys' phone, they might even be popping up over your house, okay? And then they want to, okay, what you been doing? Who you been doing it with? Who been calling your phone? Where you been going? You been with anybody, right? And the moment you start asking them the same questions, we're not together. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about who calling my phone. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Who I'm talking to over here ain't got nothing to do with the amount of time I'm spending with you, right? They're saying maybe I deserve for the same thing. You telling me he just a friend, you telling me you gonna go hang out, because we have no choice but to trust them, right? If they're telling us, oh, she's just a friend, or oh, I'm at home, God is calling us to trust them, and not only just to trust them, but to trust Him, right? So a lot of the times when they tell us this, it's not even that we believe that it's true, that is not somebody else that they're talking to, is that we trust God more than we trust them. So that's why we're hanging in there, right? So they know in the same way that we're dependent on God and we're leaning on God, they're doing the same thing in this moment, right? So they're saying, I don't like it, but I know I got to trust you. It ain't cool, but I know it's true. They have to stand 10 toes down. And this is the thing too, right? Literally. Now, not for not, we have an obligation to God. So you are not to step outside of God's will. Let me establish that first and foremost. So God is not going to tell you, oh, go out here and be with this woman, or go out here and be petty because they did it, you can do it too. No. But they're acknowledging that if you were to step out, if you were to have a friend, if somebody was to be calling your phone, what could they really do about it? They have to trust that you guys are staying in position, that God is in control, just like we had to trust that God is in control, okay? Now, on this part that I'm getting ready to read, it shows in a video a different girl, another woman that's sitting on the couch by herself. Okay. So the part that I'm getting ready to read is them reflecting on the other women they had actually been with. Okay. So, like I said, in the video, it shows a different girl other than his girlfriend. So this represents another woman other than you. This represents the counterfeit that your husbands or your wives have been cheating with. This person was sitting on the couch by themselves. So this portion that I'm getting ready to read represents them now reflecting on the other people that they have been with outside of you guys. Maybe I deserve for you to go out and find some other guy. So men, apply that as you will. If this is your kingdom spouse, then this is her saying, maybe I deserve for you to go out there and find some other girl. Okay. Maybe I deserve for you to stay out with him all night. Maybe I deserve for you to do all the things I did to you. So, like I said, they're acknowledging, like, maybe I deserve to get ghosted. Maybe I deserve for you to ignore my phone call. Maybe I deserve for you to be out with him all night and then have me at home wondering where you are. Maybe I deserve, maybe I deserve, maybe I deserve. Okay. Now, on this part that I'm getting ready to read, it is still your spouses with the counterfeit, but now instead of the counterfeit sitting on the couch by herself, your spouse and the other woman, which is the counterfeit, are now in the bed together being intimate. Okay, so they're tussling in the sheets at this point that I'm getting ready to read. It says for you to go out and find some other guy. Maybe I deserve for you to stay out with him all night. Maybe I deserve for you to do all the things I did to you. Maybe I deserve, maybe I deserve, maybe I deserve. So in this moment, they have gone, good morning. In this moment, they have gone from just thinking about the counterfeit to actually playing out the intimate experiences that they had with the counterfeits. So now they're thinking about actually them being intimate with the counterfeit. They're like, man, like I really was doing this. Like I was tussling in the sheets with this person, and maybe even the sexual acts that they actually, not just the act of being intimate, but the actual things that they did with them, because now they're picturing you like, dang, like as they're singing this, guys, maybe I deserve, in their head, God is replaying everything that they said, everything that they did, every act that they did. So they're thinking about the actual counterfeits. Man, I was kissing her. I was doing this with her. I was doing this with him. I was doing that with him. This is playing out in their head. So not only are they thinking about the things that they were doing, but now they're picturing you doing this with somebody else. Okay. So it says for you to put on a sexy dress, for me to ask who the you trying to impress. And then it repeats it, who the you trying to impress. For you to laugh it off like it ain't nothing. I know it's something, but maybe I deserve to sit at home and wonder where you are. Is he kissing you, touching you, holding you? What? So they don't know what's going on. They're like, is he kissing you? Like I said, men, if this is your prodigal spouse or your prodigal wife, is she kissing you? Is she holding you? Is she touching you? What is she doing? So now the table has turned, guys. The roles have reversed. The same way you guys have been feeling, wondering what they've been doing with the other women, wondering what they've been doing with the other men. They now feel the exact same way. Is he kissing you? Is he touching you? Is he holding you? What? They're at home, wherever they are, even if they're at the job, if they're at the grocery store, if they're with their parents, even if they're with the other woman right now, they're wondering, is he kissing her? Is he touching her? Is he touching her better than me? Is he pleasing her better than me? All these things are running through their head, guys. And in this moment, in the video, when this particular part of the song was playing out, your spouse was still with the counterfeit, but it goes from them being in a bed, being intimate, to now they're on the floor sitting back to back in their underwear exposed. So not only is your spouse is okay reflecting on this, there has been an exposure, okay? So this them sitting on the floor back to back could even be them thinking about the experiences that the counterfeit's been having, okay? Because remember, the counterfeit has no loyalty to them, okay? This could either be them catching the counterfeits with somebody, okay? This could be them, the counterfeit confessing to them, hey, I got this and this and that when I'm seeing across the street. I got this one that I'm seeing downtown. But at this point, they're starting to realize that there's no loyalty with the counterfeit. And they're also realizing that while I've been out here entertaining them, not only have I hurt you, but depending on the lies they have been telling the counterfeit, they have hurt the counterfeit too. So they're starting to reflect, because this is the thing, guys. Not only do you catch spiritual demons laying with different people, but you make soul ties laying with different people, okay? So now they're reflecting on that. Them sitting there on the floor with you and your underwear is exposure, and then them sitting on the floor with the counterfeit and their underwear is exposure. God is causing exposure in this minute, in this hour, in this second, and it's causing people to have to do some deep soul searching and reflection, okay? So, on this part that I'm getting ready to read right now in the video, they're picturing, like I said in the beginning, you with another woman or you with another man. Okay. In this scene, you and another man were kissing on the couch. So they then went from you being on the couch by itself, from the counterfeit and the sexual encounters they had with the counterfeit. Now they're actually picturing you being with somebody else. Okay. So it went from, is he touching you, holding you, what? Now it's playing out in their heads. Okay. It said, like I said in the video, you and another man, like I said, man, if this is your prodigal wives, they're picturing you and another woman. But in this scene, it was you and another man kissing on the couch. And he says, to take a drink to help ease my mind. So they're even self-soothing. Okay. Whether that be them for the prodigals that smoke weed, they're smoking a blunt, they're sitting there, they're laid back, they're thinking, they're like, dang, what is she doing right now? What? And they're picturing all of this, okay? They're like, is he kissing her? They're picturing, like I said, y'all on the couch in this video kissing another person. So they're letting it all play out in their head, okay? They're drinking, they're smoking, they're self-soothing to try to calm their nerves, to numb themselves, but they're honestly, guys, like I was emotional this whole morning because God gave me three different sequels. Okay. So not only do I have this for you guys, God broke it down in three different parts with three different songs back to back. Okay. But they're self-soothing. They're in agony right now. They're in agony. And I doubt that they have been able to sleep because they know in their hearts what they've been doing to you guys. And they know that they have been foul. If they know they have been out there with two women, three women, if they know that they've been in the clubs, if they know that they have been, whatever they have been doing, they're imagining that times two, just with the shoe on the other foot. Okay. I want to be mad. But after all those times, maybe I deserve. They want to be mad. They want to have a reason to accuse you. They want to have a reason to say, you out here doing this and this and this. But what grounds do they have, guys? Like I said, most of these spouses have gaslit you. We ain't together. It don't matter what I'm doing with the other person. Just be glad. Just think about the time that I'm spending with you. What I'm doing outside of you ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So now they're thinking, I want to be mad, but after all those times, I want to be mad, but how am I going to go and approach this person or accuse this person or question this person about what they doing when they came to me and had a question for me? I spazzed out or I told them it wasn't none of their business. So they know they don't deserve to be in your face asking you anything at this point. They feel like maybe they deserve to feel the way that they feel. Okay. So it says for you to go out and find some other guy, maybe I deserve. For you to stay out with him all night, maybe I deserve. For you to do all the things I did to you, again, maybe I deserve for you to go out there and do exactly what I have been doing. In this scene, guys, you and the other guy that you were kissing on the couch, now y'all are sitting on the floor back to back and your underwear exposed, like I said. And this exposure, guys, maybe this is for some of you guys who have actually been out there entertaining counterfeits, okay? Maybe you actually had a run in with another guy or another man, okay? This, like I said, it's exposure, okay? So God is actually exposing that as well. So maybe men and women, brothers and sisters, if you have been sitting and thinking about the counterfeits that you've been dealing with outside of your spouses and you've been wondering why you've been feeling anxious, if you've been feeling guilty, if you've been feeling maybe ashamed, if you have been in your feelings, it's because God is calling you and causing you, not only you, but your spouses as well, to reflect. Okay? He's causing you to reflect. Why? Because you were never meant to go outside of the will of God. Okay? God has already joined you guys in the spirit. And although it is not a legal covenant quite yet until the marriage and the contract comes in the spirit, you guys are still connected. So even with you guys being connected in the spirit, you guys have defiled the marriage bed by going outside of what God has ordained and being with these other people. So he's calling you to acknowledge the things that you've done, to reflect on the things that you've done. And for some of you guys that have not repented for being with these other people, or you have not came out of agreement, or you have not asked God to sever these soul ties, God might be calling you to do this in this hour so that you and your spouses can come back together. Okay. So it says, maybe I deserve, maybe I deserve, maybe I deserve. And in this moment, they reflect back to you being on the couch kissing this other person. Okay. So it says again, for you to go out and find some other guy, maybe I deserve. For you to stay out with him all night, maybe I deserve. For you to do all the things I did to you, maybe I deserve. Maybe I deserve. Maybe I deserve. Okay. Now, it says, for me to ask you where you've been. I just said that. I just said that. They're like all those times that you were like, okay, where you been? Why you didn't answer my call? You been with somebody else, or why you been acting a certain type of way? They're reflecting on that. Okay, all those nights and moments they had you guys stand up, like, dang, where they at? What they doing? Like all the reflection and emotional turmoil that you guys been going to behind, like wondering what they doing, who they doing it with. Maybe I deserve for me to ask you where you been, for you to say I better stop tripping. Again, gaslighting. What you mean? I ain't been nowhere. That ain't your business. That ain't your this. Gaslighting, making you feel like you don't have the right to feel the way that you feel, or like you don't have the right to ask the things that you ask. To grab your neck until you let me know. Now, guys, this is not physical grab your neck. This is the anger or frustration that's pending up, okay? Because this is the thing. They know that they don't have like a leg to stand on when it comes to how they feel in terms of acting on it. They have not solidified the relationship. They have not said, you are mine, I am yours. They have not put a title to it. A lot of them are still in denial as far as wanting to be out there and do them. So they haven't even claimed you. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't my husband, you ain't my wife, you ain't this, you ain't that. And then a lot of them that have are still out there doing them. They have not came back. They have not stood on business. So they're frustrated now because what can they do? And I'm pretty sure some of you guys have been there, okay? And in on this section, God brought me back to a dream that I personally had about my spouse, okay? Like maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I had a dream about my spouse, and in a dream, he was playing in my face. Okay, in this dream, a family member came. We were talking, right? We were in my house talking, and as we were talking, I looked out the window, and the house that I was in this dream, guys, like I had to be in the city because it was street level. So outside my window in this dream was a bench. Me and my spouse, he had came over to visit. We were talking in this dream. I look out the window. A family member of mine that's known to be a little promiscuous was sitting outside this window. I look over, I see her. I threw my hand up to acknowledge her. She looks at my spouse. She says, I message you. You can't message nobody back. You can't hit nobody back. If you guys all know, that's code for I'm flirting. Okay. I reached out to you, can't hit nobody back. That's the equivalent to say, hey, big head. I'm looking at him like, you know her? I said, that's my cousin. He said, yeah. In that moment, God was like, let it go. That was in the past. So I didn't get upset in that moment. Okay. So we're talking. This person, this woman, decides to climb through my window, guys. So that's a boundary issue. That's a boundary issue. She climbs through my window. Now, not only did she cross that boundary and climb in my window, like I said, that signifies your spouse having no boundaries when it comes to you. She should have never felt comfortable doing that but she felt comfortable doing that because he didn't check her in that moment. He did not nip it in the bud. Okay. A lot of these spouses have boundary issues. They're not moving like they're taken. So she climbs in the window. She gets to talking to him. I'm standing there like, I'm looking at him. I'm looking at her. He gets to talking to her back. In that moment, I got frustrated, guys. Like, I'm not even, and I know this is out of character. And this is why I say, where he says to grab your neck until you let me know, that signifies the level of frustration that they're feeling, but they cannot do anything about, okay? Because in this dream, I was out of character and I threw a book at him. I'm not even like that in the natural. And that signified, and I could feel the frustration in that dream. Like I was physically and emotionally frustrated, and I threw the book at him. After I threw the book at him, I said, can you leave? Get out my house. And I was talking to the other girl. So in this part where it says grab your neck until you let me know, that signifies the level of frustration. God is literally letting them feel how it feels to not have a voice in a situation. Like even if you guys was to go about them or have been going to them and checking them on situations like, hey, who is this person? What is this going on? The way that they was gaslighting you guys in you guys' faces, the only thing you could do is take it to God or be frustrated, vent to God. Maybe you guys kind of like got a little loud or whatever, but there was nothing you could physically do about it. You had to let go and let God. They're realizing that in this moment, they're frustrated. So it says for you to run crying out the door, maybe I deserve to grab my coat and chase you down the street. Okay. Now, in this part of the video, you guys were again sitting alone on the couch. They're saying, maybe I deserve for you to leave me. Maybe I deserve to have to chase you down and to prove to you how much I love you at this point. Like maybe I deserve for you to feel exactly how you're feeling. I deserve it. To say it ain't you is my own insecurity. Okay? To say it ain't you is my own insecurity. Now, in this part of the lyrical right here, that's a twofold, right? Because how many times have you been gaslit in a relationship or even in this particular relationship? Hold on 1 minute, guys. Or even in this particular relationship, and they tell you, oh, you just insecure. I wasn't looking at that girl. I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't calling nobody. That's your own insecurity. Okay? They're acknowledging it. To say it ain't you, it's my own insecurity. So, and not only are they acknowledging that they have done it to you and called you insecure when you try to let them know how you was feeling, and they were in the wrong. Should they be talking to other people? It has nothing to do with you being insecure with your spouse blatantly entertaining people either in front of you or behind you. There's no insecurity in that. You need security in the fact that they belong to you. You belong to them. You can trust them in front of your face and behind your back. Okay. But they're also being honest with the fact that these spouses are insecure. Okay. At this part in the video, the guy in the video takes off his shirt. He's literally bowing down, pouring out his heart. In this moment, they're being vulnerable. They're almost begging at this point. They're pouring out their heart and they're saying to say it ain't you. So they're acknowledging it's not you. I'm acknowledging right now it's not you. It's my own insecurity. The reason why they're out there with all these men and these women, one, because they think they don't deserve you. Two, a lot of them are still operating in pride and ego and they think they're a little bigger than they are. But they're realizing even with the people, right, that are operating in their pride and their ego, that are thinking that they're bigger than they are, it's still out of insecurity. It's like those men that you hear about that compensate. So they go and buy the big shiny car or they go and they flash a lot of money. It's still insecurity because they don't think that they can pull anybody just off the strength of them alone, just off their conversation, just off their presence. You want them for them. The counterfeits want them for the money, they want them for the influence, they want them for the appearance. You just want them. So they're admitting, like, yeah, I'm insecure. For you to say, yes, I cheated on you. They're like, if you came back right now and say, yes, I cheated on you, yes, I've been with somebody else, I have to eat that. I've been out there too. So what can they say if you guys were to come back and say, yes, I cheated? They would literally have to eat that. They would have to forgive you in the same way you forgave, the same way you gave them grace and mercy, the same way the Father gave them grace and mercy. They have to realize that extends to you also. So it says, I won't care. I will not care. Because after all I put you through, maybe I deserve, girl, to be mistreated sometimes. They like, if you don't answer my call, and on this scene, you and your spouse were back sitting on the floor in you guys' underwear. So again, heart, God is causing an exposure. Okay. So they're realizing that right now they're reflecting. God is showing them their heart and God is showing them your heart. Okay. So it's a mirror to each other. God is like, look into her heart. In this exact moment when you did this exact thing, this is how she felt. So God is also causing them to reflect in that exact moment. He said, now mesh these two together. How do you feel? How do you feel? Think about it. How do you feel in this moment if you see her with somebody else doing exactly what you're doing? Okay. So it says, I won't care because after all I put you through, maybe I deserve to be treated, to be mistreated sometimes. Maybe I deserve for a phone call to not be answered. Maybe I deserve to pop up and not be able to come in a home. Maybe I deserve for you to tell me to my face how I've hurt you, how I've wronged you. Maybe I deserve to be mistreated sometimes, to even be lied to sometimes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For one, a lot of people say, "Oh, I lied because I tried to protect your I tried to protect your feelings." Excuse me, guys. I lied because I care. No, people lie because they don't want to be found out, okay? People lie because they don't want to have to admit their wrongs. They don't want to have to admit to you guys the things that they've done. Because if they admit it, they have to own up to it. If I have to own up to it, I have to fix it, okay? So when it says to even be lied to sometimes, they know that there's probably a lot of things that you haven't told them. They know there's probably a lot of things that you haven't shared with them, but they also know that they're not the easiest people to talk to. So they know that sometimes they deserve to be lied to because if you was to bring to them the things that you have been doing, thinking, or whatever, they would not be able to handle it. They would not be able to have a conversation about it. And some of them guys would not stand for you the way that you stand for them. They would have been then left and tapped out. Okay, so they're acknowledging that right now. And it says, maybe you should go cheat on me. They're like, at this point, they're even willing to give you a free pass. They're even willing to give you a free pass because they're like, maybe you should go cheat. Maybe you should go do the exact same thing that I've been doing to you because now they realize how much it hurts. Now they realize how much you guys have been sitting there waiting, how much you guys have been sitting there contemplating, like, what are they doing? Who are they doing it with? Why ain't they calling me? Why they don't love me? Why ain't they like stepping into the assignment? Why? They're realizing that right now. So they're saying maybe you should go cheat. Like maybe you deserve a free pass to go out there and just do you. Maybe I deserve. And this part, guys, and this is crazy, right? Because I was watching a video. In the video, this cuts off right here after the maybe I deserve for you to go cheat on me. That's all that's in the video. But when I looked it up online to print the lyrics, there was a whole nother paragraph. So I'm like, Lord, what are you trying to say? I said, but it's not in the video. Okay. So I had to go search another song that just had like the visual, but was playing the lyrics. And that particular song in the video, this paragraph is there. So it's almost like a hidden message. Okay. So this is God saying, that this paragraph that I'm getting ready to read is a look into the pit of them, the very core of them, okay? He's like, I'm giving you a peek behind the scenes. This portion that I'm sharing with you is something that they're not even speaking on, not even ready to admit, but I'm letting you know this is how they feel, okay? It says, maybe I deserve, maybe I should sit and wait by the phone. Okay. Like I said, this wasn't even in a video. So this is stuff that they thinking that they haven't even spoken. Okay. This is in the very, this is something like when you do bad, when you operate out the fruits of the spirit, you get conviction. So even if you're not speaking it, if I was to go out there and talk reckless to somebody right now, even if I didn't let that person know, like, hey, I'm sorry, hey, I was wrong, I have been instantly convicted. So in here, I'm like, dang, you know you shouldn't have said that. You know you shouldn't have did that. You know how you're supposed to move, right? So this portion, they're talking to themselves. They're like, maybe I should sit and wait by the phone. Now they're now they're realizing, like, okay, I'm texting her, I'm texting him, he not answering. Maybe it's my turn. Maybe it's my turn to sit up and wait by the phone, okay? Because I paged you about 3 or 4 times. I called you, I text you, you still not answering. But maybe this is just my moment. It's my turn now. Everything I was doing to you, all them nights that you sit up and waited on my text and everything else, it's just my turn. Girl. I know I done put you through. Maybe I deserve. They're acknowledging I put you through the ringer. Not only did I verbally say some nasty stuff to you, not only did I spiritually and emotionally neglect you, I've been out there with different people doing different things. I ain't care. I have not cared about you seeing me doing these things. I ain't care about nobody coming to you and telling you doing these things. I didn't put you through it, and I know that. I know that maybe I deserve. See, and this is the confession portion, right? That's why I say this was a peek behind the scenes. God is letting you know their heart, okay? It says, see, a man can't take another man pleasing our woman. A man can't take another man pleasing our woman. And like I said, this was not on the video. This was what I printed out. This was like some behind the scenes, deepest, darkest. This is an admittance to themselves, guys. See, a man can't take another man pleasing our woman. Oh no, no, no. No, they can't. No, they can't. I just told y'all earlier in the song, if the shoe was on the other foot, they could not handle nor take the things that they did to you. We can't even stand waiting by the phone. No, no. Let them text you and you not text them back. She didn't text me. She didn't jump to answer my text. She didn't answer my call. You better be on the other end. Girl, a man or a woman. No, neither one of them. Neither one of them. And they're admitting that we can't even stand waiting by the phone. Let the shoe be on the other foot. And you don't answer within the first 2 minutes. You don't answer within the first 3 minutes. Oh, you better be by the phone. You better be doing this. You better be doing that. They're admitting we can't even stand that. But we do the same we do the same oh dang, oh dang. They're admitting it, guys. They're like, but we do the same stuff. We can't even handle what we've dished out, guys. If the shoe was on the other foot and you were to do us exactly how we do you, we can't even handle it. But we do the same to you guys. And we will come down on you guys. We will call it out. We will get mad at you. We will scream, shout. We will play the victim. But we do the same so God is literally allowing them to sit and think and reflect about how they have been treating you, about how they have been moving, about the things that they've had you handle that they can't even handle. They're like, wow, if I was to be out here doing the same thing, I'd be ready to spaz right now. And this woman and this man have been taking all of this, all of this, guys. So get ready for confessions. And this is another thing that they have realized too. Remember in the beginning, I told you, even though there's no physical covenants that has taken place yet, no legal covenants, you guys are still married in a spirit. So they are still bound to you as well as to God to this promise. So don't think that God is not holding them accountable, okay? And in this moment, this is the Bible verse that God gave me to couple with this message. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. And he had me in the amplified version for all of these Bible verses I'm going to tie to these messages because he really wants it to hit home. He don't want it to be watered down. He wants it to go deep. So Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage is to be held in honor among all, that is regarded as something of great value, and the marriage bed undefiled by immorality or by any sexual sin. For God will judge the sexual immoral and adulterous, okay? And that's not only between you guys. Like if you was to have sex early, that would defile the marriage bed because it's sexual sin. You're not married. But that goes for them too. That goes for the spouses that are out there defiling the marriage bed and being with counterfeits. You guys are already married in the spirit. They're already betrothed to you. You are already betrothed to them. They already know they have a wife. They already know they have a husband. God is judging the sexual immoral and adulterous. Is still adultery in the spirit, even though it hasn't joined in the physical, guys. And God is allowing them to see that. They were not recognizing it before. Oh, I can move however I want to move. I can move this. I could do. No, you can't. No, you can't. And they're realizing that. Okay. And not only are they realizing that, had you guys been married at this point, had you guys been legally under covenant at this point, biblical reasons to divorce are as stands: abandonment, meaning if an unbelieving spouse was to leave their believing spouse, that spouse has the right to move on legally if they leave and abandon. Okay. Abuse or fear. When the Bible tells us to submit, we do not submit out of intimidation or fear. So, like abuse, we submit out of reverence and respect. That's number two. Okay. Number three, this reason to leave your husband or your wife biblically: adultery, which is sexual immorality or sexual sin, meaning if they stepped outside the marriage bed. Okay. They're realizing that now. They like, one, not only do they have the right to go out there and step out on me now because of what I have done, but they legally, if we were married right now, they would have every right to leave our marriage for the things that I am doing and have done. And they know that. So they're sitting here thinking that to themselves. They like, if we were married right now, they legally have the right to leave me. And they could not do anything about it. They would have to hope that we went to God and we would find it in our heart to stay, but legally we could leave them, guys. So be encouraged and know that God is ministering to them. They are starting to recognize and acknowledge the things that they have done. And they're doing a whole lot of soul searching and self-reflection. And they now know how it feels if the shoe was on the other foot. That if you were to go out there and do exactly what they doing, and now they feel like maybe they deserve. So they're starting to have an acknowledgement of the things that they did, an acknowledgement of how they made you feel, okay? Now, guys, this lyrical that I just did is a part one. Stay tuned for part two, titled The Proposal, okay? First comes the confessions and acknowledgement of what they have done, how they have defiled the marriage bed, and then comes the proposal, okay? So after I end this live, I'm about to hop back on and give you part two, okay? Be blessed, guys.